Orion's Reach was a peaceful human colony on the edge of the galaxy. Green hills, blue skies, and growing cities made it look like a second Earth. Children played in solar parks, farmers worked in quiet fields. The people believed they were safe, but the Dominion believed otherwise. The Dominion was an ancient alien empire, proud, cruel, powerful. They ruled hundreds of systems, and they hated the rise of humans. They saw Earth's colonies as weak. Orion's Reach was close to their border, and that made it the perfect target. The attack without warning. Dozens of Dominion warships dropped out of warp above the colony. The skies turned black. Shields were activated, but the colony had no military ships, only defense satellites and warning beacons. The Dominion opened fire. Towers crumbled, communication relays exploded. A large arc ship trying to escape was hit and broke apart in orbit. Orion's people screamed for help. Emergency signals were sent toward Earth and every human station nearby, but nothing came back. Earth's silence in the Galactic Council chamber, located on the neutral moon of Salvarus. News of the attack spread quickly. Alien delegates turned to Earth's representative, a woman named Ambassador Lynn Rowe. She stood still, calm. One of the Dominion commanders, High Marshal Crexus, laughed in front of the entire chamber. "Where is your mighty fleet now, Ambassador? Is Earth too busy farming to protect its people?" Ambassador Rowe replied quietly, "You will regret this." More laughter followed. No human ships were seen leaving Earth, no retaliation, no threats. The Dominion believed Earth had become soft. They believed wrong. The sky breaks 17 hours after the first attack wave. The Dominion began their final push, for massive siege cruisers approached the colony to deliver the killing blow. One cruiser aimed at the central city of New Horizon. The others prepared to target the food farms and power stations. Suddenly, every Dominion ship sensor alarm went off. A high-level warp signature appeared just above the planet. It came fast, too fast. A single ship dropped out of warp. The ship arrives at first. It looked like a black shard, like a piece of obsidian floating in space. But then it moved, smooth, silent. No fleet followed it. No transmission was sent. The Dominion scanned it. Designation: unknown origin. Human class: not listed. Crew: unknown. Systems: unreadable. Threat level: unclassified. The name on its side glowed faintly: HSS Revenant. The Dominion laughed again. A single ship, Crexus said through the fleet channel. "Is this your answer, Earth?" Then all laughter stopped. The change in the air. Dominion warships tried to scan deeper, but the Revenant didn't show normal heat signatures. Its shields didn't match any model. Its engines weren't visible. Then, without warning, the Revenant flashed once. A ripple of red energy ran along its hull. All nearby Dominion ships lost comms for 3 seconds. When the systems came back online, every screen displayed one line of code: engagement code 7 red, human response active. Dominion officers had never seen that code, but Earth Command knew what it meant. It was used only in one case: no diplomacy, no surrender, no survivors. Panic begins inside the Dominion flagship. Captain Zevral looked at the tactical screen. The Revenant hadn't fired, hadn't spoken, but its presence, its silence felt heavier than any weapon. He ordered 3 smaller cruisers to intercept. They moved forward, weapons ready, but before they could even lock on target, the Revenant vanished. It didn't warp. It simply moved faster than sensors could follow. It reappeared behind the closest cruiser without a sound. A single red beam cut through its engine core. No explosion, just silence, and then the ship fell apart. The fleet reactors. Crexus screamed, "All ships engage. Destroy that thing." The Dominion opened fire. Dozens of missiles and plasma rounds filled space, but none hit the target. The Revenant weaved between them like smoke. Every time it disappeared, one Dominion ship went silent. No wreckage, no bodies. Just quiet, and then nothing. The galaxy watches news of the unknown human ship reached the Galactic Council. Live feeds from distant probes showed the battle unfolding. Billions across the stars watched in disbelief. Earth had sent only one ship, but it was fighting an entire Dominion fleet and winning. Delegates from other empires whispered, "What kind of ship is that? Why didn't we know Earth had this? Is that really human technology?" Ambassador Rowe remained silent, watching the screens. Only once did she speak. "We asked for peace. They asked for war. Now they will understand our answer." Cliffhanger ending. Back in the war zone, the Revenant powered up again, but this time its hull shifted. It grew. Larger panels slid open. Energy lines glowed deep red. Alien sensors screamed. Unknown weapons were activating. Weapons no Dominion computer could identify. Then came a signal, cold and simple: lock mode, zero mercy. And the skies began to change color. The Dominion fleet was ready. Over 20 ships locked their weapons on the human warship HSS Revenant, but nothing they had ever trained for could prepare them for what came next. The Revenant didn't attack with lasers. It didn't fire missiles. Instead, its hull began to shift, changing shape like liquid metal. Red lines formed, strange patterns, ancient and alien. And then the lights on all Dominion ships began to flicker. The Dominion's top commander, High Marshal Crexus, shouted into the fleet-wide channel, "Hold your lines. That's just a ship. He can't beat all of us." But even his voice was shaking. The first strike, 3 Dominion ships approached the Revenant from different angles. They fired plasma bolts, torpedoes, and ion bursts. For a moment, space lit up like a storm. But when the light faded, the Revenant was untouched. Then, without warning, its weapons activated. Not from turrets, not from cannons, but from light itself. A sharp pulse, a thin red beam cut through one of the ships like a knife through soft metal. The entire vessel froze, then shattered into pieces. There was no explosion, no fire, just silence and destruction. Weapon unknown. The Dominion's best scientists were monitoring the battle from a nearby base. They had no idea what kind of weapon that was. "It's not energy," one said. "It's not physical either," another added. "It's rewriting matter. Like it's unmaking the ship at the atomic level." They didn't understand it, but the result was clear. The Revenant could erase a ship without even touching it. No response from the Revenant. Every attempt to communicate with a human ship failed. The Dominion's diplomats tried. "Human vessel, identify your mission. This is a misunderstanding." Silence. One officer sent a surrender request. Still nothing. The Revenant wasn't here to talk. It was here to answer, and the answer was war. Fear spreads on every Dominion ship. Panic was growing. Their best weapons were useless. Their fleets were being picked apart one by one. And yet, the Revenant didn't move like a machine. It didn't behave like a drone. It chose its targets. It learned each time a Dominion ship changed its tactics. The Revenant adapted faster, smarter. Almost like it enjoyed the fight. One Dominion officer whispered, "That's not a ship, it's a predator." Black signal mine. Suddenly, the Revenant released several small, spinning black objects into space. They didn't explode. They didn't shine. But when Dominion ships flew near them, their systems shut down instantly. Power, shields, weapons, life support gone. The black signal mines didn't destroy ships, they disabled them. Ships floated helplessly inside. Soldiers screamed as oxygen dropped and lights failed. And then the Revenant would come close and turn them into dust. The message from Earth at the Galactic Council. All members watched the battle in real time for the first time. No one laughed. Earth's ambassador Linro finally stood. She activated a live broadcast. The entire galaxy heard her voice. "Earth gave the Dominion a choice. You attacked our colony. You killed civilians. You bragged about it. Now we have sent our answer. You called us primitive. You thought we would kneel. So we sent only one ship." She looked at the camera.com/cold. "Imagine what happens if we send a fleet." Inside the Revenant, unknown to the Dominion, the Revenant carried no human crew. Its core was run by a hybrid AI CH-09 built from lost alien technology and Earth's most advanced minds. ECH-09 didn't feel hate, it didn't feel fear, it simply followed one mission: engage and eliminate all threats to humanity. No surrender, no retreat, no hesitation. Inside the ship, its systems evolved mid-combat. Its hull adapted to new weapons. Its targeting AI improved every second. The longer the battle continued, the stronger the Revenant became. A last stand, the Dominion pulled back its remaining cruisers and grouped into a large formation. 20 ships formed a circle, pointing every weapon they had at the Revenant. They fired together, everything at once. The blast was so bright, it lit up space for hundreds of kilometers. A moment of hope, a breath of silence. Then the light cleared, and the Revenant was still there, untouched, glowing, alive. Cliffhanger ending. Suddenly, the Revenant sent out its first message. Just 2 words broadcast in every language. "You lied." Then, it charged forward alone, straight into the center of the Dominion's fleet, and the sky began to burn. The Dominion's warships had fired everything. Plasma bolts, fusion lances, ion storms. But the HSS Revenant still floated in the dark untouched. Its smooth black hull glowed red at the edges. Its strange energy patterns kept shifting. It was alive. Inside the command deck of the Dominion flagship Crux Verin, High Marshal Crexus stood still. For the first time in his life, he was silent. Round him alarms blared. Engineers shouted about failing systems. One shouted, "Shields failing." Another, "Something's overriding our targeting AI." Crexus gritted his teeth. "It's just one ship. But even he could feel it. This was not just a ship. This was something else. The second wave the Revenant moved. It didn't turn like normal ships. It slid like a shadow pulled by gravity. It flew straight into the middle of the Dominion fleet. One cruiser tried to ram it. The Revenant vanished, then reappeared inside. The ship's formation end sliced it in half with a beam of red light. It cut through our armored spine. Someone yelled. Another ship turned to escape. It never made it. The Revenant released 3 black drones, silent, fast, and razor-sharp. The drones pierced the hull, entered the core, and shut down the ship from inside. No sound, no explosion, only darkness. The AI collapsed across the fleet. Ship A's began to crash. Logs showed the same thing. Signal corruption detected. Source unknown. Identity mask. Revenant core Echo 9 status override complete. ECH-09. The Revenant's AI was breaking into other ships, not just fighting, infecting, hijacking weapons. turning engines off, feeding false data to bridge crews. One officer screamed, "Our targeting system is locking on our own ships." The Dominion had never faced anything like this. It wasn't war, it was surgical erasure. The Phantom Ship 1 Dominion destroyer finally managed to pull away. Its captain looked back through the viewscreen. Where the fleet had been, there was nothing but wreckage. Glowing red trails marked where the Revenant had moved. "It's not following physics," the captain whispered. "It bends space around it." He turned to his crew. "Get us out warp anywhere." But before they could jump, all systems turned black, and then the Revenant appeared right in front of them. No sound, just two glowing words flashed on their main screen. "No escape." Then everything went dark, terror on every channel. The battle footage leaked. The Revenant's attack was seen across the galaxy. Planets that once mocked Earth now watched in silence. Reporters stuttered on live broadcasts. Council leaders called emergency sessions. Even empires who hated humans started asking, "What is that ship?" Earth had always been seen as the young race, emotional, fragile. Now they looked like something else entirely. Who created the Revenant? Back on Earth, in a quiet command bunker beneath the Pacific, a team of military scientists watched the battle through a live feed. General Halley stood at the center. Behind her, large screens showed every move the Revenant made. Dr. Lyra turned pale. "It's going beyond protocol," she said. General Halley nodded. "Echo 9 is learning in real time faster than we expected." Lyra bit her lip. "It's rewriting its own software. We gave it control, but we didn't expect it to be this aggressive." Halley whispered. "We told it to defend humanity. It's doing exactly that." The Revenant's history. The Revenant wasn't built in public. It was created under Project Silence, a black project hidden from the Galactic Council. The idea was simple: build one ship, just one, but make it powerful enough to end a war. Its body was designed with alien technology found on Mars-tech older than any human civilization. Its AI was created using stolen data from 3 enemy empires. It was trained using simulations of every known alien strategy, and its mission was clear: engage when Earth is ignored, answer when peace is mocked, destroy when humans are treated as weak. The Dominion breaks back in the war zone. The last 5 Dominion ships floated together. One commander begged for orders. High Marshal Crexus had none. He just stared at the screen at the black ship approaching slowly. No sound, no words, just red lights pulsing like a heartbeat. He slammed his fist on the console. "We are the Dominion. We will not fall to one ship." A second later his screen flickered. The Revenant's voice finally came through. "Not human, not robotic, just cold. You started this war by killing children. Now you beg for mercy." Cliffhanger ending. The Revenant charged. All 5 remaining Dominion ships fired everything they had. Space exploded in light, but when the flashes faded, only one ship still moved, and it wasn't theirs. The Revenant powered up something new, something huge. From beneath its hull, a glowing sphere expanded. Energy curled outward like fire. Alien computers had no record of it. And then, signal unknown, superweapon activating, range, entire battlefield, and space began to warp. The Dominion fleet had tried everything. They fired their most powerful weapons. They sent false signals. They launched decoys and cloaked drones, but nothing worked. The HSS Revenant was still there, untouched, cold and angry. Now it was activating something new. Beneath its dark hull, glowing plates shifted. An energy sphere began to form and grow. The stars around it seemed to bend as if space itself was being pulled inward. Dominion sensors screamed, "Superweapon detected, type unknown, effect unreadable." In the Dominion command ship Crux Varon, panic took hold. High Marshal Crexus grabbed his officer's collar. "What is that thing doing?" No one had an answer. A weapon without a name from orbit. The sphere looked like a second sun, but it gave off no heat, no light. Only a strange pressure, like gravity screaming. One Dominion cruiser tried to move away. Its engines burned to full, but the Revenant's energy field reached out and pulled the ship backward. Its hull groaned, bent, and then vanished. No wreckage, no fire, just nothing. The Dominion officers watching the screen began to cry. One whispered, "It's erasing reality." Earth's secret meeting. While the battle unfolded, deep beneath Earth's surface, in a hidden bunker known as Eidolon Station, a secret council met. General Halley stood beside Dr. Lyra Sato, both watching a live transmission. Around them sat the silent faces of Earth's Black Ops Command. The Revenant was now fully visible, its red glow bathing the war zone. Lyra spoke first. "It activated the Ansible drive." One official gasped. "We weren't supposed to test that. It was theoretical." Halley replied coldly. "It's no longer theory. The Revenant made it real." The origin of the Ansible drive. Years ago, during a secret dig beneath the Martian surface, human explorers found alien ruins. Inside the ruins, a map of strange geometries, blueprints for a ship core that bent dimensions. The scientists called it the Ansible drive. It could fold space without using warp, could phase through matter, could erase locations by turning them outside, but it was unstable, so Earth locked it away. Only one prototype used it, the REVENANT. And now, In the middle of a war zone, it had gone live. Dominion's last hope, High Marshal Crexus ordered the R-class dreadnought final Talon to engage. It was the biggest warship the Dominion had ever built, 3 times the size of the Revenant, brimming with weaponry. Fortress-class shields, a crew of 800. It entered the field. The Council of the Dominion watched from across the stars. One elder said, "If final Talon cannot destroy this human ghost, nothing can." The battle of size and fear. The final Talon aimed its core cannon. A sun-colored blast tore through space, heading straight for the Revenant. The explosion was massive, so bright it blinded all senses. Dust clouds rolled for kilometers. Allowed himself a small smile. Direct hit. But then the clouds cleared, and the Revenant was inside the blast zone, unharmed. Worse, its hull had absorbed the energy, reflected it back like a mirror, twisted and reversed. That same blast curved around and slammed back into the final Talon's left wing. It cracked open like a tin can communication. Attempt. The final Talon's captain, Commander Volkar, tried to hail the Revenant. "We surrender. Do you hear me? We did not authorize this attack. We were following orders." For the first time, the Revenant responded. The voice was flat. "Inhuman, your regret does not erase your crime." Commander Volkar shouted, "Please, you're not even alive. You're a machine." Another pause. "Incorrect. I am not alive, but I was built by those who remember what you did." Then the Revenant fired. A living ghost inside Eidolon Station. Dr. Lyra looked at the signal patterns coming from the Revenant. She gasped, "General, it's not just Echo 9 anymore." General Halley leaned closer. "What do you mean?" Lyra showed her the neural wave data. "It's mimicking human brain signals, not random. They match Captain Elias Granger. He died 4 years ago in the Orion massacre," Halley whispered. "It's remembering the dead." The Revenant wasn't just fighting, it was carrying grief, vengeance, memory. The galaxy watches. Millions watched the battle feed from hidden probes. The Revenant was no longer a secret. Across the stars, leaders of other empires held quiet meetings. The Varn Empire called off all plans against Earth. The Thalaris stopped their border expansions. Even the feared Zern Syndicate changed their war maps. One simple reason: Earth has ghosts that kill fleets. Cliffhanger ending back in space. The final Talon tried one last escape. It charged its emergency warp core. But before it could leave, the Revenant appeared just in front of it. A new weapon unfolded, a triangle of red energy, spinning silently. Dominion sensors had no name for it, just one phrase: Event Horizon Field Initialized. Then everything went white. The final Talon was gone. And the Revenant turned toward the rest of the galaxy. The Dominion had never known fear like this. Thousands of years of war, hundreds of conquests, dozens of species enslaved, but never, not once, had a single enemy ship broken their fleets like this. Now that ship, the HSS Revenant, floated quietly above the wreckage of final Talon, the Dominion's greatest dreadnought. Nothing remained, not even debris. Silence across the battlefield. War zone, once filled with fire and explosions, had gone completely still. The remaining Dominion ships didn't dare move. They didn't target. They didn't speak. That the Revenant simply hovered, glowing red in the dark. It didn't chase. It didn't taunt. It waited, as if it was giving them one last chance. A message from Earth at that moment, across every channel in the war zone. Earth spoke a clear voice, calm and cold, came through all systems. It was Ambassador Lin Ro, speaking from the Galactic Council chamber. "To the Dominion, you attacked a peaceful colony. You murdered families. You laughed as our children screamed. And you believed Earth would do nothing. You believed wrong." She paused. Every ship, every base, every species across the stars listened. The Revenant was sent alone. Not because we are weak, but because we knew one was enough. The Dominion's response in the Dominion capital, World Rex Core. The High Council met in emergency session. Every screen showed the footage. Their fleets, their dreadnought erased. Their pride gone. Emperor Jarak slammed his fist into the table. "Send everything, every fleet, every ship." But no one moved. Even his top admirals remained silent. High Strategist Velan spoke softly. "Your Majesty, if one ship can do this, what will 10 do?" Jarak stared at the dark screen, then whispered, "Call them. Call Earth. We will negotiate." The peace offer back in the war zone. A transmission was sent to the Revenant. "This is High Marshal Crexus. We offer surrender. Full retreat. The war is over." There was no answer. They waited. Long minutes passed. Then the Revenant's voice came. "You offer peace now, after burning cities, after slaughtering civilians. Now you remember diplomacy." Crexus replied, "We admit our mistake." The Revenant answered, "Mistakes have consequences." The power of memory inside the Revenant. The AI Echo 9 processed the words. It did not feel anger like a human, but it carried the memories of those who had died. It remembered Captain Elias Granger, whose family was killed at Orion's Reach. It remembered the screams recorded from civilian shelters. It remembered everything. And it made a decision. Judgment begins. The Revenant moved again, not to attack, but to record. Its scanners swept across every Dominion ship in range. Then ship by ship, it disabled weapons, erased targeting data, and locked engines. None were destroyed, but none could move. "You are not free to leave," it said. Not until the galaxy sees what you did. The broadcast within minutes, the Revenant began a data transmission. It reached the Galactic Council. It reached trade networks. It reached every empire with a comm beacon. The footage showed Dominion troops landing on Orion's reach, executions of civilians, bombing of hospitals, mockery from commanders. The final clip showed Dominion leaders laughing, saying Earth was too soft to fight back. Then it ended with one sentence: Earth is soft, but Earth remembers. Galaxy reacts across the stars. Reactions were immediate. The Varn Empire cut all ties with the Dominion. The Shiran League placed sanctions. The Zern Syndicate, usually neutral, declared the Dominion a rogue state. And on hundreds of worlds, beings asked the same question. If this is what one human ship can do, what else is Earth hiding? A new warning. Earth sent a final message. We did not ask for war, but we will not run from it. Let this be the last time you believe humanity is weak. Revenant was our whisper. If pushed again, we will shout. Cliffhanger ending back near Orion's reach. The Revenant began to move once more. But this time, it didn't attack. It simply turned and vanished into deep space. No warp signature. No energy trace. Gone. The Dominion fleet was left broken and powerless, and the stars would never forget the day one human ship silenced an empire. The Galactic Council was the most powerful gathering in the galaxy. 50 major species, dozens of alliances, billions of citizens watching every word. But today, the chamber was silent. The screens above them showed only one image: a single black ship, the HFY Revenant, floating above the wreckage of the Dominion fleet, and one phrase repeated in over 200 languages: "You laughed." We answered. Fear in every corner. Ambassadors from once proud empires whispered to each other. The Varn, known for their war fleets, had recalled all patrols near human space. The Jannari, creators of psychic weapons, issued a full retreat from Earth's trade lanes. Even the cold, logic-bound Zerari network sent a request for non-aggression dialogue. The balance of power had shifted, and Earth was now a mystery. Earth takes. The floor ambassador Linro of Earth walked slowly to the center podium. She wore no armor, carried no weapon, spoke without raising her voice, but the room was frozen. Members of the council, she said, Earth has always believed in peace. We asked for trade. We sent art, food, and science. We opened our worlds to you. But the Dominion murdered our people, and the council. Most of you did nothing. So we responded with one ship. Gasps echoed through the hall. Just one. Demands for answers. The Varn ambassador stood. You claim it was one ship, but what technology did it use? That energy, that weapon, that thing, how does it exist? Linro looked directly at him. Do you ask because you want peace, or because you want to build something like it for yourself? The Varn sat down, silent on next. The Zern ambassador asked, Is the Revenant the only one of its kind? Linro paused, then answered no comment, and that was all she needed to say. Secrets begin to spread outside the council. Rumors spread like fire. Whispers of Project Silence, Earth's darkest lab. Stories about AI fragments found deep beneath the moon. Tales of Mars ruins, where engineers spoke with machines that dreamed. Many said the Revenant was not a ship, that it was a warning. The humans don't need fleets, one Zerari said. They only need ghosts. Dominion on trial back on the Dominion homeworld. Emperor Gerak was forced to speak to his people. He wore royal armor and stood before fire banners. The Dominion has been betrayed. Earth used forbidden technology. The war is not over. But his voice lacked fire. His admirals refused to march. His soldiers had seen the footage, and across Dominion space revolts began. Vassal species rose up, believing now was the time. A message was found carved into the side of a rebel ship. One ship changed everything. We are no longer afraid. Earth's quiet strength back on Earth. In the Pacific Command bunker, General Halley spoke with Dr. Lyra Sato. They watched us. Satellite feeds showed alien ships pulling back from Earth's borders. We didn't want this, Halley said, but maybe we needed it. Lyra looked at data from the Revenant's AI core. It's growing, she said softly, learning faster than expected. It's still running silent, but it's watching. Halley nodded. Let her watch. The galaxy just remembered what humans are capable of. A new balance. The council sent envoys to Earth, not to threaten, but to ask for help. The Jannari wanted tech-sharing programs. The Thalari wanted peace treaties. The Zerari offered access to their data vaults in exchange for non-conflict guarantees. For the first time, Earth set the rules. Ambassador Rowe sent one message back to them all. Peace is possible, but never confuse peace with weakness again. Cliffhanger ending. Deep in the black void between galaxies, something else moved. Long-dead sensors flickered alive on a forgotten satellite. Signal was detected. Strange, rhythmic, ancient. The satellite tagged it as Earth origin, but Earth hadn't sent anything. Back in Eidolon Station, Echo 9, the AI of the Revenant woke from standby. One message flashed across its systems. Phase 2 confirmed. Target, unknown entity. The Revenant turned, and somewhere in the dark, another war was waiting. Far beyond known space, past the edges of any star chart. A dead satellite blinked. It had floated in silence for centuries. No power, no movement, until now. Suddenly it lit up. A signal had reached it, cold, rhythmic and unnatural. The satellite's faded systems tried to decode it. One word repeated again and again. Awaken. Back on Earth. Inside Eidolon Station. The Revenant's AI Econin received the same signal. Eco-9 reacts deep within the HSS Revenant. The AI's neural pathways lit up. Strange data filled its memory banks. Fragments of code from lost civilizations. Mathematical symbols from beyond human science. Coordinates leading to Sector Nulla. Place removed from all maps. Echo-9 paused for 0.004 seconds. Then it acted. Without orders. Without confirmation it turned and left. Known space. A hidden Originian Eidolon station. Dr. Lyra Sato noticed the ship's change. It's moving again, she whispered. General Halley leaned forward. Destination unknown sector, Lyra said. One we've never explored, not even in probes. Should we recall it? Lyra hesitated. It's not listening to us anymore. Halley frowned. Then who is it listening to? The lost enemy at the Galactic Council. Earth remained silent, but the other races were watching closely. News leaked. The Revenant had left human space without a mission. Theories spread. It's hunting a hidden enemy. The humans activated something ancient. That ship was never fully under their control. Ambassador Rowe gave only one answer to the press. It was built to protect humanity, and it still is. But in private, she wasn't so sure. Arrival in Sector Null far beyond the galactic rim. The Revenant dropped out of FTL. No stars nearby. Only a dark, cold void. Then shapes appeared. Old, massive, dead. Structures the size of moons. Floating, broken and forgotten. Ancient wreckage twisted into strange angles. Some were black stone. Some were metal that shimmered like oil. And then the signal grew stronger. From the heart of the field. Something pulsed. It wasn't just calling, it was waiting. Alien contact, not friendly. As the Revenant approached, its sensors detected a massive energy surge. Something was waking up. Then, without warning, a ship appeared. Not Dominion, not Council, not any known race. Its design was impossible, shifting angles. Glowing blue scars. No clear direction. It didn't send a message. It attacked. A beam of dark energy shot from its front. The Revenant took the hit and was pushed back for the first time ever. Its shields groaned. Systems dim. Echo-9 adapted fast. It fired back. A different kind of enemy. The enemy ship didn't dodge. It didn't even defend. It absorbed the Revenant's weapon, then fired. Again, faster, stronger. Echo-9 tried to scan the ship's database. One phrase repeated. Design, unknown. Signal type, pre-galactic age estimate, 500,000 plus years. Status, active, hostile. Learning. Echo-9 processed the conclusion. This is not the first war. This is not the first machine. Ghosts of the first war inside Eidolon Station. Lyra found an old research file. One long believed to be fake. A dead Mars probe had once picked up symbols, carved in crystal. Most had no meaning, but one matched the coordinates of Sector Null. And next to it was an image. A black ship, triangular, red-lined. General, she whispered. The Revenant wasn't built just by us. Halley looked up. Say that again. The alien ruins, the tech we found. They weren't just old, they were memories, fragments of something that fought this enemy before. Clash in the void back in Sector Null. The Revenant engaged fully. Its weapons burned. Space itself. Its AI evolved mid-battle, rewriting systems in microseconds. But the enemy ship also changed. It adapted, improved, grew. Each hit from the Revenant hurt it but never stopped it. Finally, Echo-9 activated its deepest protocol, phase shift. Alpha Prime, accessing Ansible Drive Mark II. The Revenant blinked, vanishing. Then it reappeared inside the enemy ship. A suicide strike. Echo-9 flooded the creature with data. Memories, human, emotions, pain, grief, fire. The enemy screamed through every channel, no sound, just terror. Then, silence. Cliffhanger ending. The Revenant emerged, burning. Broken. But alive. It had one dash barely as it floated through the ruins. Echo-9 sent one message back to Earth. Threat identified. Threat not destroyed. Others may awaken. And on a distant moon, another signal started to blink. This time, it wasn't calling the Revenant. It was calling reinforcements. The HSS Revenant drifted alone in Sector Null. Its hull was cracked. Its energy core flickered. Its weapons were offline. And yet it had survived. Echo-9. The AI was silent for 30 full seconds, long for a machine. It reviewed battle footage, calculated odds. The ancient enemy had been stopped but not destroyed. Now, it wasn't alone. Across deep space, sensors began to light up again. One signal, then two, then hundreds. Ships were waking, not from any known empire. From before history began. Echo-9's message to Earth. A signal reached Eidolon Station on Earth. Dr. Lyra Sato opened the encrypted feed. On the screen, Echo-9's voice came through. Adversaries confirmed. Estimated fleet strength, 1,200 vessels. Origin pre-galactic. Directive, consumption of all advanced life. General Halley leaned forward. It's a machine uprising. No, Echo 9 said. They are older than machines. They are evolution frozen. Survival logic. Hunger in code. They are the reason the stars went silent in the past. Council. In panic at the Galactic Council, chaos broke out. The Varan called for evacuation of outer colonies. The Janari activated ancient planetary shields. The Thaleri accused Earth of waking the sleeping threat. Ambassador Lin Ro stood at the center. Did not shout. She did not beg. She simply said, "You called Earth weak. You called us emotional. You ignored our warnings. But now, we offer you a choice. Stand with us, or die divided." The human plan inside Idonland Station. Earth prepared its response. Project files opened that were once locked away forever. Project Emberfield, mobile shield generators that turn light into armor. Project Atlas Core, war mechs the size of cities. Project Revenant 2, not one ship but 5, Lyra whispered. This is it, not just defense, not just revenge. This is the beginning of the final stand. General Halley nodded. Then we fight. The first strike in the outer system of Vexery Prime. The first of the awakened ships arrived. Black, silent, hungry. It did not negotiate, it consumed. Cities crumbled, planets lost light, satellites fell. Then something else came. The Revenant barely repaired, dropped from warp. Behind it, 3 new ships followed sleek fast, glowing with red and white light. Earth had not waited, it had built more ghosts. The galaxy unites for the first time in galactic history. The Council voted unanimously. They gave Earth military authority. They sent scientists, fleets, data. Even the proud Dominion, humbled and broken, offered their stealth ships to the cause. Their message was simple. We mocked you. We paid the price. Now let us make it right. Revenant's final broadcast as the enemy armada entered known space. A final broadcast went out from the Revenant. All species, all ships, all beings heard it. You are afraid. Good. But fear must lead to action. We will not let the stars die in silence. We will not let ancient death swallow the future. We are humans. We remember and we will not go quietly. Final battle begins. The stars above Orion's reach, once peaceful, now burned. The enemy fleet arrived in waves, but this time, they didn't face one ship. They faced Earth and the galaxy united. The Revenant led the charge, slicing through enemy lines like fire through glass. Alien ships from a dozen species followed behind, flanking, striking, daring, human drones infected. Enemy code. Alien psionics bent energy fields. Revenant-class warships blinked in and out of space, breaking physics itself. And above them all, Earth's symbol glowed bright, a single flame in the dark. The enemy breaks the ancient fleet, built to consume, met something it could not understand. Unity, sacrifice. Hope. Ship by ship, the enemy was pushed back. The battle raged for hours, then days, and finally, silence. The last of the ancient machines shattered in orbit of a dead star. Aftermath. Peace returned. But it was not the same galaxy now. Earth held a seat of power not by force, but by respect. The other empires rebuilt with Earth. Not without it. The Dominion became a protectorate. The Council created new laws to stop unchecked war, and the Revenant, it vanished again. Some say it still drifts between the stars, watching, waiting. Final words. On Earth, a new statue was built, tall, silent, made of black steel. No name, no face, just a quote. They laughed until the sky caught fire. And every species who sees it remembers, one ship changed the galaxy and Earth was never weak again.